and welcome to another little mini podcast. Today we are going to be doing a little bit on some more side quest cleanup, starting with the one that will unlock the raid series. Let's make sure that we are up and running. Yep. As soon as... Come on, I do not want that. There we go. Yep, we are up and running perfectly. Good. Ah, Elita, I was hoping you'd stop by. You wish to talk? I could tell you a little bit more about myself, I suppose. I'm a cartoonist, as you know, and I primarily draw inspiration from the matches at the Arcadion. My cartoons enjoy great popularity here in Solution 9, even if I do say so myself. And mark my words, my next series featuring you as the protagonist is guaranteed to be a bestseller. Ah, Elita, I was hoping you'd stop by. Though the Light's heavyweight division is the lowest tier of the championship, you surpassed one and all by rising up as champion without the use of feral souls. And you didn't stop there. When former heavyweight fighter Wicked Thunder unexpectedly appeared to challenge you, you bested her as well. Never have we seen such drama at the Arcadion. Like most others, I watched your matches from the edge of my seat, but I've been most keen to hear your first-hand account. Pray, spare no detail. Your words have provided me with insight and inspiration both. With a few embellishments, I believe I can produce a story that will grip the readers from start to finish. You're not going to tell it as it happened? Lest you misunderstand, my works are not intended to be accurate records of events. In the name of a good story, I may take some liberties with certain details. For example, what if Black Cat had brought even deadlier techniques to bear against you? Or if Honey Bee Lovely, whose sweet facade concealed a terrible temper, had become further enraged. What sort of carnage might have unfolded if the brute Bonner had stooped to lower lows to seize victory? And last but not least, what if Wicked Thunder refused to retreat, resolving instead to fight on? In such a manner, I do let my mind wander when I produce my works, and this time I'm confident that I have a bestseller on my hands. I thank you for taking the time to share your account with me. I wish you continued success in the arena. Let's go to Tulula. Colonel seeks to introduce an all-new organization to Terral. You are one of Clement's entourage, yes? How fortuitous. I happen to have a small request for you. I understand that in Eosia you have an organization called the Adventurers Guild. For some time now, the Wing of Reflection has been deliberating on whether to introduce a similar organization here. The issue is all the more pressing in light of recent events. If the city were to come under attack again, the Landsguard alone may be unable to cope. But before we proceed, we wish to canvass the people of Tuliolo. I hear that guilds are often based in locales where residents gather, taverns and eateries and such. I believe Zigrev Tai is a close approximation. I would ask that you visit Zigrev Tai to discuss the matter with Brukivu and seek his permission to conduct a survey among the patrons. I speak with Brukivu at Zigrev Tai. Once you have his permission, you may begin to canvass some of his patrons. And you say this Adventurers Guild would look to assemble here at Zigrev Tai? Well, we've been getting more foreign patrons as of late, and they do seem to struggle when it comes to finding guides and swords for hire. I suppose this place could be ideal for putting travellers in touch with the mercenaries and what have you. Still, you might have a hard time convincing the patrons they'd benefit from this guild you speak of. Anyway, feel free to mingle. Just don't make it sound like the palace have already committed to the idea, okay? I know you're a busy woman, rest assured, but once this passage of the unbound business is dealt with, there'll be a full plate of my finest tacos with your name on them. What need do we have for an organization like that? Varu Clamat has our interests close at heart. Why, she's often in here listening to our troubles. Besides, Brookiefoot already works hard to make Zigrev Tai a welcoming place for all, foreign visitors included. It's a fine idea, but with Varu Clamat on our side, we common folk have no need for the guild you speak of.
I'd be more than happy dealing with adventurers if they were all like you, but if the place was suddenly flooded with boorish sellswords, that's another thing entirely. I'm not looking to tar you all with the same brush, but you know how some of their ilk behave. Gazing out at the beach, sipping on a glass of something sweet and refreshing, that's what Zigrev Tai is all about. May it never change. I can't bear the thought of a bunch of brutish mercenaries ruin the atmosphere there with their bad manners and loutish ways.
So, adventurers would set up shop here at Zigrev Tai. Well, if it means us regular folk can find people willing to solve our problems, I'd be all for it. Zolja never seemed to care much about our plight. You could plead all you liked, but the Landsguard would rarely get involved. Then again, we've already got the Wing of Protection and the Wing of Reflection. We'd likely be better served getting the institutions we do have to play their part before we try anything else. I've nothing against the idea, but we already have institutions there to serve us when it comes to such matters.
You spoke with the patrons, yes? Thank you. What do the people of Tuliolo have to say about the notion of an adventurers guild? I see. You say some patrons would welcome the influx of people willing to aid them, but others are wary of welcoming unsavoury characters to Gibraltar. A rather more lukewarm response than I'd hoped for. It seems first and foremost there is room for improvement with our current institutions. Besides, the patrons sound rather attached to the Gibraltar they know and love. I have no doubt that an adventurers guild would flourish here in Tyrrell if only the concept were more familiar. Nevertheless, I fear time is not yet ripe for such discussions. Introducing the guild without the necessary groundwork would likely prove counterproductive. For the time being, my colleagues and I will continue our deliberations. Thank you for your assistance, adventurer. The Ring of Reflection must consider what it can do to support Tulial in the coming years. I for one shall study the presidents of overseas nations and help our Dawn servants forge the path. Shush. The impatient Landsguard is expecting his partner to arrive any moment now. Ah, one of Luke Monat's companions. Say, could I trouble you to go and fetch someone for me? It's time for my patrol, and my partner is nowhere to be seen. I'd handle it myself, but I couldn't miss his arrival were I to leave my post. Knowing him, he's lost in conversation somewhere in Bright Bloom Post. Just look for the Bunawa with the big eyes and the dark blue scales. When you find him, tell him his partner is waiting for him. He must have forgotten it's time for a patrol. Remember, he's the Bunawa with big eyes and dark blue scales. You can't miss him. Okie dokie, I'll go find him. Get your whole body behind the thrust. Yeah! Patrol? Friend, I don't know who you've mistaken me for, but I just finished my shift. Do I look like some moon-eyed Bunawa to you? Clearly I'm a Dopro. Keen for some sparring later? Always, but don't hold back like last time. No, I don't believe I've any work scheduled today. Mayhap you've mixed me up with someone else. Ah, no, I am a Hubigo. Bunawa don't have long combs like ours. You see, they're most commonly identified by the hue of their scales. Your weapon is in fair shape. It'll hold. I think I'll put in a formal request to repurpose Hunilele as a surveillance tower. Like in the old days, we could use some eyes in the sky to keep the city safe. Oh no, don't tell me. Don't tell me this is... No! It's a jumping puzzle! No! Why? Why do you torture me? No, I am not doing this right now. No. Concentrate. Let nothing distract you. Yes, sir. was a privilege I took for granted. After that attack, I realized it's something we must earn, all of us working together. Waka waka! Roar! Not bad. They both show some skill. That's it, give it to him. Yeah! Now he's open! We completely changed the way we look at sparring. None of us want to see a single person cut down in front of us. Not ever again. The worst of it may be behind us, but I won't be letting my guard down. Now, more than ever, we must always be prepared to handle the unforeseen. Okay. There is an entrance to this building, so perhaps he's inside the building. I hear you played no little part in resolving our troubles. On behalf of the Landsguard, I extend to you our deepest thanks. Our commander's seat remains empty. As second in command, I will oversee Landsguard operations and work to ensure our people live in peace and prosperity. Patrol partner? Yes, I'm the one he's looking for. I don't know why he's always so needlessly punctual, but there are in fact still a few minutes before our shift. And again, patience has never been his strong suit. In any case, thank you for letting me know. I suppose I'll head over early, just to be nice. My apologies for the trouble. Honestly, he was afraid that I died or something? Welcome back. My partner here let me know you sent him. Didn't I see you talking to another mammal jar before you found me? I suppose we all look alike to you people from across the salt. But appearances aren't everything, of course. With our superior arcane ability, we of the Bunawa tribe are typically employed as mages or palaciers. As for the Hubigo, they are more likely to excel in feats of athleticism. The Dawntrail, meanwhile, are renowned for their skill at beast handling. You can see one tending to a wafer right over there. Ah, speaking of which, perhaps I should tell you about... Aye, that's enough. Sorry about him. My friend here can never remember when to hold his tongue. Thanks again for your help. We've wasted enough time here. Onwards to our patrol. Should you choose to undertake the quest, know that guidance from the journal duty list and map will be limited. You will need to read the text carefully and decipher the clues to determine your course of action. The nostalgic attendant is clutching a well-worn envelope, seemingly lost in reverie. Ah, I recognize you from the third floor, Mrs. Entourage. You have my wholehearted thanks for taking part in this vital succession. I myself am an attendant to the Dawn's Promise.
Yes, perhaps I can entrust this to you. The riddle inside that envelope was penned by the second promise himself. It's the first part of a treasure hunt he devised for his sister. As I recall, she managed to solve the initial riddle but gave up soon after that. I gather the clues were a little too challenging. In time, we forgot all about it. Anyway, I was tidying my quarters the other day and stumbled across that envelope. The treasure should lie here within the city. If you're keen for a bit of sport, perhaps you'd like to try and decipher the second promise's words. The first riddle I gave you will point you in the right direction. With any luck, the treasure should still be here in Tulial. Refer to the first riddle for clues about the next location. First riddle. A great hall rests upon buried shells of old, where palm trees tower over sands gleaming gold. An old envelope entrusted to you by a nostalgic attendant. The first untidily scrawled clue to a Tulial treasure hunt is contained within. The great hall rests upon buried shells of old, where palm trees tower over sands gleaming gold. So sands of the beach, where there's palm trees, and there should be a great hall up there. Definitely palm trees here. I'm guessing this is the Great Hall. A clean sound for a clear drum. Okay, So nothing up here that I can see. Put this hole in here. That's not sufficient hole, it's a storage facility. I may have to come back to this quest as I have no idea how to fulfill it. Let's move on to the next quest. The determined naturalist has a small furry problem for you to solve. Well, I never. To think I'd run into you of Tubiala of all places. I'm from the Studium's Faculty of Biology, and I've seen you before back in Old Charlayan. Ah, that reminds me. You'll have to forgive the impertinence, but there just so happens to be a matter I could use your help with. I'm researching Turali ecosystems, and I'm currently on the hunt for one creature in particular. In truth, I barely set foot on the land before I made my discovery. Alas, I was trying to secure the specimen for study. It got away from me. It has a somewhat peculiar cry, to say the least. The creature itself is covered in a tawny brown fur, and is rather small in stature. The strangest thing is, I asked some of the locals if they had heard of such an animal, and they seemed quite baffled. You don't happen to know of the creature I speak of, do you? Sounds like a giant beaver to me. Giant, you say? I should very well like to behold such grandeur with my own eyes. I shall conduct an extensive search of the port, which is where I first saw the creature. Might I ask you to search the high ground, the residential district known as the Resplendent Quarter? I shall continue my search in the vicinity. Now that I think of it, the creature itself may have come here from foreign shores. The vocal varmint and its companion seem willing to follow you. Lead the pair back to the determined naturalist at High Tide Harbour. There's no talking points along the way. Brilliant! Simply brilliant. Not one, but two! I only spotted a single specimen earlier. I think there'd be another lurking nearby. Scream! They both seem remarkably docile. What a marvellous stroke of luck to be reunited with my quarry so quickly. This rather vindicates my decision to travel all this way. You see, our professor recently absconded, leaving me and my fellow researchers vying for the newly vacated position. This is just what I need. If I can work this discovery into paper, it will do wonders for my standing with the faculty, and put me one step closer to that tenured position. Suffice it to say, I'll be keeping a close eye on these two and tending to them with the utmost care. I can't wait to conduct a thorough study. Scream! Well, good luck with that. I look horrified. Tapipa is gazing lovingly at his precious crops. Well met, traveller. Couldn't help but notice you staring at my crops there. Dabble a bit in a bit of sowing and growing yourself? How about running a quick errand for me? By way of thanks, I'll share some of the know-how we local farmers have cultivated over the years. Right, it all starts with compost, and that's where you come in. I need your help getting a hold of the makings that go into the mulch, and you can't go wrong with alpaca manure. No need to look so worried. I'll get the dung delivered from the alpaca stables later. What I want you to do is go around and collect the vegetable scraps for me. I've got an arrangement with some of the eateries here in Tuliala, you see? I need you to pay a visit to Zebra Thai and Aunt T's Tacos. Think you can do that for me? Zebra Thai and Aunt T's Tacos. That's where my scraps are waiting. You up to the task? Sure, let's go. Tapipa's after his vegetable scraps, you see? Say no more. To make a decent taco, you can't cut corners when it comes to meat and spices, but vegetables are just as vital. Mine are packed full of the best produce you can get, and all of it grown by Tapipa himself. We business owners have to look out for one another after all. For a tasty taco with vegetables are as important a meal as spices, which is why dealing with Tapipa is such a delight. He supplies me with the best fresh produce. Did Tapipa send you? I made sure to set aside all the scraps and peelings you need. They're yours for the taking. Of course, there's plenty of traders selling vegetables at Bayside Bevy, but being able to source our produce straight from the seafoam fields is a real boon for us. It doesn't come much fresher than that, I tell you. Like I said, there's plenty of folks selling vegetables at Bayside Bevy, but you simply can't beat fresh locally grown produce. Easier for teleport. Great Hall. Oh, back on my scraps, are you? A portion of colourful vegetables peelings from one of Tulio's eateries, now destined for the compost heap. Much obliged. Now with a little heat and time, these odds and ends will make fine compost. But that's not all they're good for. Spread them straight onto the soil and they make for decent fertilizer in a pinch. That's what folks used to do in the olden days, anyhow. But then the head of reason and his companions got to put in their knowledge of plants and what not to use, sowing the seeds of the composting techniques we use today. I named this farm Seafoam Fields for good reason. The salty ocean air brings with it plenty of minerals, which help the plants thrive. All it takes beyond that is a fair bit of compost to bring out the best in the soil. With all these scraps, I should be set for a good while. Appreciate the help, traveller. For what it's worth, I hope you learned a thing or two from all my prattling on. Now that the crisis has been settled, it's time I saw to the harvest. It's a miracle any of our vegetables made it through that attack unscathed. Let's see, let's go back here. We're getting these ones cleaned up. Who needs you to track down this wayward trainee? Hey you're not busy, are you? Earlier we got word of a shipment of parts has come in, so I sent my trainee to fetch them, but he's still not back yet. Could I trouble you to pay a visit to the junkmonger in Bayside Levy and ask if a young head Sahara who's been seen by? I'm in the middle of something here. I'd go and speak with the junkmonger myself, but my hands are full. I'll even throw in a little something to make it worth your while. Now that things have settled down, we've made some improvements to our jiggables. I can promise as smooth a ride to Yaktala as you've ever had. The trainee merchant from the Jiggable landing? No, I'm afraid I haven't seen him today. Might be as he took a scenic route, as he often wont to do. Seeing you're looking for him, you may as well take the delivery along with you. Knowing Huvio-ja, he won't be satisfied until both are brought to him. As for where his young charge might be, I often see him on pier at High Tide Harbour, gazing out at the sea. Like as not, you'll find him there now. You're like to find the young Hatsuharu around High Tide Harbour, taking in the ocean view. As for the delivery, tell Huvio-ja we can discuss payment later. It's they are the cat peoples, aren't they? They're the Mikotis. Due to the abundance of reefs in Turiel's coastal waters, marine visitors are forced to anchor their ships out at sea and board smaller vessels to make safe landfall. The harbour's name is no idle promise, as even boats with shallow drafts can be caught on rocks when the tide is low. Oh, sorry, I was lost in thought. How can I help you? Each piece was painstakingly sculptured to make the big flying balloons go whoosh. My mentor sent you to find me, and you brought the parts we ordered? Ah, you've well and truly caught me slacking. Not to judge you at a glance, but you're not from around here, are you? Would you happen to know anything about dirigibles? I did build one, I suppose. You've built one? Dear gods, I didn't realize I was in the presence of a certified expert. Please, you must simply tell me about it. Well, first you cook the components, and then you put them together. I've only just started my apprenticeship, but my dream is to one day cross the sea in a balloon of my own making. Naturally, my first destination will be old Charlene, where the great Koana learned so much of what he knows. Ah, what a journey it would be. Ah, there I go again. The moment my thoughts get turned to daydreams, I'll find myself here at the harbour. That's enough time wasted. I better take these parts back to the Dirigible landing. Let's be a lazy Elita. Lazy Elita. I know. You're back. My trainee got here just ahead of you. Now, what's this I hear about the two of you having a heart-to-heart at the harbour? He wants to cross the sea in his own craft, eh? Good for him, I say. A boy his age ought to dream big. The technology the second promise brought home to Turiel has sparked new ideas amongst the youth like nothing I've ever seen. Mark my words, they'll do great things for this country one day. Me, I've got my claws full keeping these jigables up and running. But the next generation has my support. Nothing would make me prouder than to watch them soar to ever greater heights. Ha! Now you've got me waxing all sentimental. Something in the fumes, perhaps. Take your reward and run along before I embarrass myself, would you? Our new Dawn servants are going to make this country to even greater heights. I can feel my hopes soaring already. Surely no, Miss One Tomato. The precocious Mammaljat is looking for a grown-up she can trust. Hey, lady, can you help me? Earlier today, I got a pretty painting of the city from a Chateau d'Apart painter, and I showed it to my mum, and she really liked it. And she sent me to deliver this fruit as a thank you gift, but now the painter isn't here anymore, and I don't know what to do. Could you help me look around? Yay! Okay, so the painter was going to make one more picture, like this. Which means wherever we can see this view, that's where we'll find him. Let's go find the painter. The picture shows the rooftops from above, so it must have been taken from somewhere high up, right? Do you know why they call it the Resplendor? Resplendent Quarter? It's because all the different colours of houses look like the feathers of pretty birds. That's what my mum said. Hello there. Greetings, traveller. Oh, and I see you brought the little Mammaljat from earlier. I was looking all over for you. My mum said to give you this as our thanks for the pretty painting. You came all this way just to thank me with a snack? You're far too kind, little one. 'Twas more than a doodle. I was rewarded enough by the smile on your face. I take it you're her chaperone then. Thank you for looking out for her. This town is a special place in my heart. We Shantona are a long-lived people, and I have nothing but good fortune watching the community sprout up from nothing. I used to think this country would never amount to much, but seeing all these vibrant cultures thriving alongside one another in harmony, I wish to immortalize its beauty with what talent yet remains to me. You must really love Tulliola, huh? Well, don't worry, me and my mom are going to love your painting forever and ever and ever. Haha, yes, it's an honour, little one. Now then, seeing as I've finished my current painting, I think it's time I found a new vista to admire. I hope to see you around, friends. I never really thought about how pretty our town is. I feel like I learned something today. Thanks again for helping me find the painter, lady. I'm gonna take good care of this picture. That I will. But before you go, here, this is for you. savvy stable master's herd is missing an alpaca or two. Elita, isn't it? I've heard all about your affinity with the alpacas. My cousin works on the ranch at Huachipeno. He was practically gushing. As it so happens, I have need of your talents. Some of the herd escaped during an attack on the city the other day. I managed to round most of them up, but we're still too short. They haven't been seen leaving the city gates, so I think it's safe to assume they're hiding somewhere within the city walls. So how about it? Can I ask you to round up those last two stragglers? Thank you. Oh, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but despite being trained as mounts, alpacas are easily rattled. If you come across any stragglers, make sure you soothe them first. Got that? No sudden movements. The two missing alpacas should be here in the city. Try and find them, and remember to soothe them before you even think of making your approach. In your haste, you find yourself on the receiving end of a glistening glob of alpaca spit. Be sure to soothe the animal before you approach. Where is Sue? The suitably soothed animal makes its way nonchalantly back to the alpaca stables. What am I doing? I should just... Let's look at this place. Thank you. The two stragglers arrived safe and sound a little while ago. I recognise that smell. Let me guess. You ignored my advice and got rewarded with a face full of alpaca spit. I hope you've learned your lesson. That stink will be with you for a few days yet. These alpaca are direct descendants of the mounts we Pelipelu presented as a sign of friendship when Tutuola was founded. I'm sure you've heard the tale of Gulal Jeja catching a golden alpaca. Well, the creatures we gifted were sired by that shiny beast itself. To say they had quite the pedigree would be a gross undervaluation. And you can be sure that their legacy survives today. These beasts are fleet of foot and strong of limb, just like their ancestors. If you ever have need for a mount, you could do far worse than a Tuliala alpaca. Right. I should tend to the two that you have so kindly brought back. I appreciate all the help. The Landsguard drum major has lost track of one of his drummers. Breathtaking, isn't it? I wager you'd be hard-pressed to find a more majestic drum anywhere. Alas, exposed as it is to the elements, it requires a lot of upkeep, which is where we of Fife and Drum Corps come in. Speaking of which, what's taking him so long? Say, you strike me as a dependable sort. Might I trouble you to find our new recruit? He was tasked with handling today's inspection. Given how long it's taken him, it's possible he ran into trouble, but I'm supposed to be supervising things here. Check behind the tower, and you should find him. My subordinate should be on the south side of the tower. Hopefully he hasn't run into any trouble. Can I help you? Wait, the drum major sent you? Gotta be good, I've wasted too much time. I've already finished checking the drum in the tower, mind you. But I just had to go and drop my tools. And now I can't find them. Will you help me look? I could really use a second pair of eyes right now. Please, won't you help me look for my drum inspection kit? It must be around here somewhere. you look. Contains myriad instruments with which to test or repair a drum's condition. Oh, I'm so glad you found them. You're a lifesaver, truly. If I dared to report back without them, the Major would have grilled me to a fine char. With that settled, I really must return to my other duties. I'd be most grateful if you could inform the Major on my behalf. There you are. I'm told you helped a recruit find the inspection kit after he dropped it. Your generosity means more to our community than you might realize. The drum is essential for the protection and well-being of our people. It not only marks the time of day, but also honors the Lance Guard, returning home from duty. And in times of crisis, it can be used to warn the populace of danger. That is why we must keep it in pristine condition at all times. But of course, our most common duty as the Fife and Drum Corps is to perform as a musical ensemble. It takes tremendous upper arm strength to beat a drum of this scale, and as Major, my job is to pound our greenest recruits into shape. Perhaps I've been slacking. Before I forget, take this, you've earned it. Pelu Pelu Peddler has no clue how to navigate to Leola. Oh, I'm in a pickle. Can't exactly deliver the order if I'm lost now, can I? Curse these twisting streets. You there, with your decidedly unflappable composure. Know your way around these streets, yes? Could you pay a visit to my customers and let them know I have brought their orders? Brilliant! Now, you'll be looking for 2 different houses in the Resplendent Quarter. The first has deep blue and yellow walls, with feather decorations that hang from the eaves. The man who lives there is very eloquent, Hanu Hanu. The second home is a rather vivacious moblin. You're looking for sky blue walls with a roof of yellow, a storehouse, and decorative vases out front. Remember, the Hanu Hanu's house has deep blue and yellow walls, and the Mobla's house has sky blue walls with a yellow roof. Just let them know I'm here, will you? Special order of mold flour is here at last. Now I have all the ingredients to crafty bake loaves of rot bread. Haven't heard of mold flour? Mixy blend of wheat and mixed toxins with sweet stink smell. In Earthenshire, all breads and cookies are crafty baked with it, essential element of traditional Mobby cuisine. Since stingy shopkeepers of Tuliel refused to stock it, my only option was to bulk buy with a Pelu Pelu goods bearer. Now to go and bring back my package. Many thanks to kind Lowlander. I think I'm finally feeling brave enough to venture outside. Can't stay here forever. Need to restock my food supplies. Dear me, you mean to say my package has arrived? I had some dry reeds imported from Okehanu, you see. Ordered them as soon as I heard the crops had recovered. Though I may live in Tuliola now, I always keep my homeland close to heart. To a Hanu Hanu like myself, there is no greater comfort than the smell of reeds when I walk through the door. Speaking of which, I had better go fetch them, hadn't I? There are a few areas that could do with a bit of touching up. see you managed to find them. Thanks to you, the packages have safely reached my customers' hands. Paws. Claws? In the meantime, I've been browsing Bayside Bevy. The shops here all have the most common daily necessities, along with a variety of goods from other far-flung corners of Tulal. The Tulal is a melting point of cultures with their own unique needs, and sometimes the limited selection here doesn't cut it. That's where we come in. As peddlers, we travel to those distant locales, buy their most sought-after goods, and deliver them to the residents here, for price mind. Speaking of travel, did you come here from Eorzea by chance? I've yet to venture there for import goods, but one of these days I might just have to make a trip. Oh, and before I forget, your fee. It's got to be here somewhere. The dutiful deckhand's problems are twofold. Waylaid cargo and one very concerned mother. Look, Zebelja, I know you're waiting on a letter for your son, but I'm just asking you to cut me a little slack. True enough, we picked up a letter from your son back in Eorzea, but with all that evil here in the city, our cargo ended up all over the place. Until we take stock of things, there's no telling where it might be. Oh, I see. Well, please do come and find me if the letter turns up. I live over in the Resplendent Quarter. Am I right in thinking you're an Avenger from Eorzea? Apologies about all that just now. I tell you, I never thought I'd end up running into so much trouble right after dropping anchor. Say, reckon you could help me fetch the last few supply crates that got waylaid in all the trouble? I tell you, rather than sail straight over the Owling Gate, and see a mother fretting over her son like that, if you help gather the crates, I can get to searching for that letter. So how about helping me find the last few crates, and I can start searching for that lady's letter? I just can't bear the thought of her fretting over that son of hers. Steady now, that's it. Looks like all me crates are present and counted for. Much obliged. Right, I've got myself a letter to find. One of several wooden crates waylaid during an attack on Tulio, faintly damp and salt encrusted. Zebolja, was it? Ah, I'll never find this bleeding letter. Oh, hold on, what's this here? Never thought I'd find the damn thing so quick. She said she lived in the Resplendent Quarter, didn't she? I hate to ask, but would you mind taking this letter to Zebolja for me? The way my luck's been going since arriving, I never thought I'd find the letter so bleeding quick. Anyway, I'd be much obliged to deliver a letter to Zebolja in the Resplendent Quarter. Oh, you're that woman from earlier, yes? A letter penned by an all-good-natured son residing in lands afar. You found it! This came all the way from my son Latulja in Eorzea. Latulja. His son became acquainted with an Eorzean mage who was visiting Tyrell, and they ended up travelling back to Eorzea together. Apparently they wanted to promote the blue magic techniques they'd learned from the Well Queer or some such. Latulja's been very good at helping keep in touch, but with everything that's been happening of late, I couldn't help but assume the worst. You can't imagine what a relief it was laying eyes on that letter just now. I do hope he's eating well though. I wonder if they have cornbread in Eorzea. It's always been his favourite. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like a moment alone to read my son's letter. Please give my thanks to the deckhand. You get that letter over to Zebolja, did ye? Like I said, you hate to see someone worrying for their loved ones. Glad we could put our mind at ease. Most mammal Jar that head for Eorzea end up as mercenaries. Imagine there's a fair few who set sail and never get word back home. Seems like Zebolja's son was a decent lad though. I tell ye, all this has got me pining for me family. I left them back in Limsa, you see. Not that there's time for dilly-dally, not when there's work that wants doing. Thanks for your help, adventurer. The inattentive colonarian dearly hopes his international delivery hasn't been lost at sea. You were on the ship that pulled into port just now, were you not? I have a favour to ask. I'm expecting a shipment addressed to Aunt T's Tacos, but I fear it may have been unloaded in the Southern Pier by mistake. I'd be ever so grateful if you could speak with your crew for me. I need to be getting back to open the shop, but if you do manage to find it, please bring it over. I'll see you're paid for the delivery, I promise. Another day, another delivery. Crate addressed to Civil Trade smells so good. It's making me hungry, but the shipment from Bullock Schoonstadt takes priority, of course. A shipment for Aunt T's. Got it right here, of course. Not sure where you were told, but all imports from Eorzea are unloaded on this side. That culinarian makes some great tacos, but I'll be damned if he can pay attention to half the words I say to him. His order's packed and ready in that crate there, but bugging me if it ain't heavy. Right, that's the crate for Aunt T's. It's not far from here if you don't mind carrying it over. I like how you got to carry it in one sitting. It's like, you can't just put it down and then pick it up again. You found it, thank the gods. I don't know what I would have done had my cookbooks been left on the dock back in Minsa. What luck that I could flag down such a hospitable deckhand. My biggest dream is to make us the most popular taco stand in all of Tyrell, so popular they'll let me open one in every nation across the salt. Try one today, and who knows, by tomorrow they might be world famous. Wait, what do you mean you're not part of the crew? I thought you came into port with my books. Our taco stand gets a lot of tourists, so I thought I'd import some cookbooks from your culinary capital and brush up on foreign food culture. Who knows, one of these days I might just invent an Eorzean style taco. Anyway, my apologies for the misunderstanding. As payment, take these freshly made tacos on the house. You happen upon a curious cob of corn that almost seems alive. The rustling of this corn sounds not unlike a dejected sigh, and you could swear it's looking out at the ocean. Oh, woe is me! Are you alright? You could see me! Oh, blessed be! have watched over these lands. When man first tilled her soil, I was there. When they partook of her bounty, I was there. A silent guardian of the harvest. My presence unmistakable. Yet the passage of time would bring change to the people. They began to forget the old ways. Forget me. I travelled the lands hither and yon, yet no matter where I went, I remained unseen and unheard. I feared before long I might struck this nigh immortal cub. Yet here at the blast I have found a kindly soul, and willing to lend me an ear, but will she lend me a hand as well, I wonder? I wish to help the people of Tyrell, fill their hearts and bellies both, lest their hunger invite terrible misfortune. All that are born into this world are deserving of happiness. Would you not agree? So let them eat, I say, eat corn and be merry. Alas, I cannot reach them in my diminished state, but you can, and so I shall bequeath unto you the most delectable corn dishes, which are to then be distributed to the masses. What say you? Such selflessness, such compassion. How long has it been since I met a soul so grossly incandescent? I am but a humble stock basking in the warmth of your generous heart. Well, my friend, let us be off.
Pure's corn spirit is elected to be referred to as the corn servant. Speak with him again when you're ready to spread corn and happiness to the masses.
Goodness, how long has it been since man last partake of my corn? I can hardly wait. The hungry bellies of Tyrell cry out for salvation. Let us sally forth. This is hardly the time for idle chatter, my friend. We have bellies to fill.
What am I to do now? I'm like to starve at this rate.
Shh! His belly! It speaks to me! I bid you offer him this grilled corn, seared to perfection with the hope that yet burns in my corny bosom.
Is that grilled corn? For me? That's awful kind of you. I'm new to Tyrell, and it's been pretty hard since I lost my job. I've been so hungry lately I can barely think straight. But the smell of this corn with its smoky sweet aroma has brightened my day. I can hardly wait to eat it. Feels like maybe my luck is starting to turn around. Thank you, miss. I won't forget this.
Perhaps I'll simply skip breakfast today. A belly and heart both in dire need of nourishment. Here, take off my cob. Let its earthly scent and savory flavors offer her comfort. Grilled corn? My husband loved grilled corn. Life simply isn't the same without him. One moment I think I'm fine, then suddenly I find myself brought to tears. Even Ethan has been a struggle, but I know he wouldn't want me to mourn him. Thank you for this. I'll try to do better, for his sake and mine.
I'm so hungry, but I have no money. May the gods forgive me for what I'm about to do.
Do you hear that, friend? Psh! His belly weeps from hunger. Pray offer him this corn. Let its smoky sweetness give him comfort, and deliver him from foul temptation.
Is this grilled corn for me? Truly, my stomach has been in knots for days. Thank you. It shames me to admit it, but I tried my hand at gambling and lost everything. I was so desperate for food I was tempted to do terrible, terrible things. This corn has filled my aching stomach and helped me to clear my head. Oh, what a fool I've been. It's time I start over and get my life together.
Shh! This rumbling of bellies in need has ceased. Come, let us find a quiet place to speak.
I'm talking to a corn on the cob.
The rumbling of bellies has ceased. Need to cease. Come, let us find a quiet place to speak. So glad I am to have helped the people of Tulial. Indeed, my kernels swelled with joy at the sight of their happy and content faces. And you, friend, your kindness cannot go unrewarded. Meet me at the gate over yonder, and I will see you duly compensated for your trouble. There you are. I hope our little excursion was as fulfilling for you as it was for me. It is a terrible thing to be hungry. Unattended bellies are quick to fill themselves with pain and anguish, feelings that will lead the heart astray. Thanks to you, my corn has sated the hunger that would otherwise invite misery to this place. From the bottom of my cob, I thank you. Pray, take of my corn. May these kernels keep your belly full and your spirits lifted. Now, I really must be going. While the people of Tulial may be content, there are other hungry souls out there in need of nourishment. Until we meet again!
Let's see. Probably be, yep. Excuse me, miss, but you're your chase boon by chance? You have the hands of someone with a long, storied career, hands that I would beg you lend to the people of good people of Tyral. Here we accept petitions for aid on behalf of the Wing of Reflection, be they from common citizenry or fellow artisans. We use any and all tools of the trade at our disposal to ensure the needs of Tyral are met. Since its founding, myriad tribes have gathered here into Tulial, commerce flourishing as the years passed. However, as one might expect from such diverse people, business practices also varied greatly from tribe to tribe. While there are difficulties in trade we have yet to overcome, a great many troubles were resolved when the Dawn Servant established the Wing-Lev system. We serve as an intermediary between those who require aid and the tradespeople with the required skills needed to fulfill these petitions in the form of levs. Are you familiar with levs? Hailing from across the salt, I would assume so. The Head of Reason adopted the system from the guild levs employed in Eorzea. The lev plates used depict the Dawn Servant's journey building this nation, and the lessons learned from his companions along the way, a reminder that only together we can make Tulial thrive. Of course, this sentiment of solidarity also extends to allies come from abroad, much like you, which is to say, we would be honoured to have your assistance. Ripley hopes you're the artisan he's been looking for. Well, if it isn't Elita, forgive me, but I couldn't help but notice the tools you're carrying on your person. You wouldn't happen to be a skilled tradeswoman, would you? As I mentioned when you visited alongside the Third Promise, Wakaramechi is in dire need of skilled artisans like Fortune. A number of our shops are beset with problems large and small, you see, and having the assistance of one such as you would be most welcome. Of course, a service rendered is a service paid for, and we've plenty of scrips with which we can fill your pockets. Procuring supplies from the open seas has brought no small amount into my possession, and I understand the currency is also used excessively across the salt. With that said, I'd like to first introduce you to the folks you'll be working with. You needn't decide right away, of course. Take your time to consider my offer, and come speak with me again once you've made up your mind. Come to take up my offer, I see. Just one last thing before we go. In the language of my people, Wakaramechi means House of Countless Beads. I see the market as a home where folks of all kinds may come, connect, and carve out a niche for themselves. Please bear this in mind as you encounter things to which you're not accustomed. Ahem. Now then, off we go. Good. That's nearly everyone. Thought it was best if they were aware of who you are before you show up on their doorstep offering your services. Let's go in order, shall we? Starting with Zeral Shaw's metalwares. Ral Solage deals in all things metal, particularly when it comes to daily necessities. Unfortunately, she's recently been confronted with an issue that's put her very reputation at stake. She seeks a metal worker that understands the importance of punctuality. Next we have the epistles by Pakema, whose eponymous owner pens official documents. She transcribes letters for those who cannot do so themselves. And more, she's presently in need of one skilled in treating parchment, textiles, leathers, and the like. Zeolja Juicecraft serves some of the most unique beverages I dare say one will ever encounter. It's just a shame no one's lining up to drink them. If you've any expertise with the culinary arts or alchemy, I would love for you to assist her in revitalizing her shop. Fish Fancy's Dohano is a bit of an eccentric exhibitionist establishment. You see, Dohanu deals in fish that he fancies. Unfortunately for him, his tastes are a touch too unconventional for your average customer, and his anxious sales may not pick up. As for Shuni's apothecary, I regret to say its owner was unable to spare even a moment for introductions. That said, if you fancy yourself a miner or gatherer, you'll undoubtedly find his wares of great interest. Shuni deals in all sorts of curious flora and minerals, you see. Alas, his sole employee appears to be in poor shape, and I grow more worried about his store by the day. I believe that covers everything, more or less. It is my wish that both customers and shop owners feel mutual satisfaction with their transactions in the market, that this house of countless beads may shine more brilliantly than ever. With your help, I believe that wish will come true. I look forward to seeing what you accomplish, Elita. You may now undertake Wakaramachi deliveries. It is my wish that both customers and shop owners alike feel mutual satisfaction with their transactions in the market, that this house of countless beads may shine more brilliantly than ever. With your help, I believe that wish will come true. I look forward to seeing what you accomplish, Elita. Alright. So... Alright. There is just that one quest.
I went there. Oh. I wasn't looking in the right place. Okay, ignore that for now. You found the second riddle. Refer back to it as necessary to find the designated location. Weathered planks creak, quietly guiding the way to a verdant bed of green, washed with sea spray. Guess. Spanning the length of the pier, these pleasant cottages replaced the previous fleet of boats that once served visitors as rudimentary accommodations. It is said that a foreign explorer was responsible for naming the guest houses when he likened their roofs to ship prows and their cosy interiors to a ship's cabin. You found the final riddle. Refer back to it as necessary to find the designated location. A thoroughfare worn smooth speaks of journeys come to end, reason and resolve set in stone with duty to contend. You have found a green imitation ring. Report your success to nostalgic attendant at Wabiga Plaza. Whew. Welcome back. How did you fare? A ring set with a green glass bead, doing its very best imitation of a pricier piece of jewellery. Ah, this brings back memories. Many moons ago, the second promise had me accompany him to Bayside Bevy. The thought of shopping alone seemed to unnerve him. Anyway, this is what he bought that day. He was incredibly fond of his sister. When she begged him to come up with a treasure hunt, he was more than happy to oblige. And now they support one another as they strive for their ideals on behalf of Tuliola's future. Yes, I dare say this nation is in safe hands. If I get the opportunity, I should deliver this ring to the second promise. I can't help but wonder how he'd present it to his sister after all these years. And with that, I take my leave. Thank you for unearthing this slumbering treasure, and the memories that came with it. And that is all the quests in Tulio, apart from the crafting and gathering ones. Right, thank you all for watching, love you all, bye for now.